Hi there, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Whole Home Show. I'm Tony Joe, your host here. Every week, we bring you tips, education, and updates on home-related matters. Whether you're in the real estate market or if you're looking for decorating or improvement ideas for your home, this is a great place to be. Our show comes to you with the support of our show partners, Denise Webster, mortgage broker with Dominion Lending Center's Modern Mortgage Group, JP Sellers, insurance advisor at Westland Insurance. The Sitka Law Group for your real estate, wills and estates, corporate and personal injury needs, and Silhouette Building Inspections with Pierre Beauvais. If you need help or direction in your real estate transaction, give any of the Whole Home Show team members a call. They would love to hear from you. It's been my pleasure being your host here for the past 7 years. This isn't my day job, though. I've been selling real estate here in Greater Victoria since 1991. I've handled thousands of transactions here in our fair city. Proud to be ranked as one of the top REMAX agents in Western Canada. I would be pleased to help you as well, too. So if you're thinking of a move or you want to talk about the real estate market or any of these things, or want to get some tips and advice from the fellow members of and supporters and sponsors here at the program, you can reach out to us. All you need to do is go to cfax1070.com. You look under shows. There you'll find us, the Whole Home Show with me, Tony Joe. All of our contact information is there. Or as I always say, folks, you can just Google me. Find me. I love hearing from our loyal CFAX listeners every week. It just means that we are being heard and you like the content that we bring to you. Now, I always enjoy, I mean, first of all, it's important that we stay topical with what's going on, not only in the Canadian market, but also locally here as well, too. But sometimes we kind of go a little further as well, too. And it's good to reach out to our friends, not only south of the border, but, sometimes we go global as well, too. And that's exactly what we're doing today. We're having a conversation and learning about what's happening with Canadians in Arizona. We're also going to be chatting with another colleague in, can you believe it? Thailand later on today. Yeah, we had to figure out the time zone differential, and it is significant, by the way, folks, but we'll get to that a little bit later. I want to dive straight in, though. We're going to get going here with a conversation with a colleague down in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona. It's Tricia Lehane at Remax Excalibur. Tricia, thanks for joining us today.
Well, good morning, Tony Joe. It's so great to see you here,
Yeah.
as well as when we were just in Halifax for about a month ago. So,
That's right. That's right. So, let's set this up for our listeners. And because I don't think I brought this up with in our program yet. Uh, Remax, our organization, we have conferences that happen all over the place. Actually, we're an international organization, so we have Remax Europe. There's conferences there. There's a big conference in Las Vegas every year in about February, and then Canada has a big event, typically every October. This year it was in Halifax. That's where we were together. Just before I pressed the start button here today, you and I were talking about the weather because Halifax, when we were
it
there,
was amazing.
it was amazing.
Absolutely.
We had a like a 26-degree day, so for you that's like 80-degree weather,
Right.
Fahrenheit, right? Which is what you guys are getting right now in November, and
And that's why we live here.
yes, weather is a big thing.
We're not fighting snow and, can't see 5 feet in front of you.
But
Yeah,
it was a surprise for all of us, you and I down in Halifax when the weather was so good, right?
it was spectacular. Couldn't have asked for it to be any better.
No. Now, of course, one of the reasons why people like you and I attend these conferences is, there's great learning experiences. There was some great content. My goodness, Chris Hadfield, Colonel Chris Hadfield, the astronaut, keynote
Yes.
speaker. Oh, so good. And proud Canadian as well, too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
so many others. But the other thing too is that we have a chance to network and connect with each other as well. Now, a little backstory about you. You spent a lot of time here in Western Canada, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. My parents chose to move from Colorado to Manitoba in the 70s,
Hmm.
and I followed up much after. And I lived in every Western province, Tony Joe, even the Yukon Territory. I took an opportunity
Yeah.
for a contract in the garment industry up there. And so I've been lots of places and lived lots of places, but I'm solid in Scottsdale now.
Yeah.
It's where my home will be forever.
Yeah.
So I've been here 20 years, but Canada still holds my heart. Like I moved here from Kelowna
Yeah.
and I miss it every day, but I love
The
my life here.
so our that's of course Kelowna is our playground. Like it's our Arizona, right?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I want to dive right into it because something, I mean, obviously there's been some things going on, with the border b between our two countries. And,
Right,
something that you talk about because, we've discussed the fact that, you give presentations and you, are helping, Canadians in their, well, obviously with their purchases, right?
right.
But perhaps right now, the topic is more on selling. So tell us about what you're feeling and what you see with Canadians in Arizona who you're dealing with right now.
Well, I'll just share a little bit of a statistic
Okay.
here, Tony, Joe, with you.
Yeah.
So, the National Association of Realtors every year do an international buyer's guide, and Canada continues to be always in the top five buying in the United States. The matter of fact, in 24 to 25, Canada purchased $6.2 billion in residential real estate in the United States.
Okay.
Florida is always number one, California number two, Texas, New York, and Arizona. So Canadians love to come to the southern warm states in the
Yes.
winter.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I think that lots of Canadians are selling
Okay.
potentially to the political climate that's happening.
Uh-huh.
Um, but a big part of it as well, I think that's affecting a lot of people considering wanting to sell more in Florida. It's
Hmm.
happening in Arizona, but not to the point that it is in Florida. Like in Florida, the cost of insurance, it's almost like a mortgage payment. Like I
So,
think a minimum, if you can get
yeah.
insurance,
So we're talking like house insurance or health
house
insurance?
insurance.
House insurance.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it starts, the matter of fact, and we'll talk about it after. I have business associates that I work with out of Florida that does FERPTA withholding.
Hmm.
And they were here in Arizona probably 6 weeks ago for a conference that I had the opportunity to just meet up with them. And they said insurance rates probably start at a minimum of $800 a month. So that's almost like another mortgage payment. So
Yeah.
then you take into consideration the currency exchange right now. And when I checked yesterday, I think it was about $1.41.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in 2009, 10, 11, when we had the market crash here, lots of Canadians were coming down.
It's
Tony
because
Joe,
our currency was almost equal about that for a
it
short while,
was
right? Yeah.
absolutely. And I was selling $60,000 homes
Uh-huh.
in those years, and the dollar was at par. But I think as well, it's positioning Canadians not with the dollar, with the cost of insurance rising, the cost of monthly expenses
Hmm.
at $1.40,
Hmm. Are significant.
a lot of people, in addition to the political climate.
My goodness. Well, listen, need to take a break here right now. We're having a conversation with Tricia Lehane. She is dialing in here from Phoenix, Arizona, over at Remax Excalibur, just learning more about what's going on down south, specifically with Canadians and their thought process on buying, specifically selling right now. Need to take a break, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. Thanks for coming back. You're listening to the Whole Home Show, and I'm Tony Joe. We're having an international episode today. Oh, that sounds kind of bad. International episode. It is an episode that has to do with international stuff. We're later going to be chatting with my friend Marc Jurock in Thailand. But right now, we're having a conversation with Tricia Lehane. She is a realtor down in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona at Remax Excalibur. Again, Tricia, thanks for joining us today.
Well, it's great to be here, Tony. Thank you.
So we're talking about selling. We're talking about the fact that um, insurance, something we never even really think about here. Insurance for homes is so costly nowadays, combined with the fact that the exchange rate is favorable now because Canadians are selling their American properties. Maybe when they bought back in 2011 or thereabouts, our dollar was at par. So they've done,
Right.
actually, as far as an investment is concerned, they've done well because the exchange itself brings it up quite a bit. Um, but now, of course, the other thing that we're hearing about every day as well is tourism, how Canadians are choosing to go elsewhere right now, uh,
Absolutely.
as opposed to visiting. By the way, I have not been to Arizona for a while. I do love it there. I've been there several times in the
Come
past.
down. I love to show people around my area.
Yeah. Um,
So Scottsdale, the tagline for Scottsdale, Old Town Scottsdale, the place to see and be seen. It
mhm.
has so much personality, and our restaurants and resorts,
Yeah.
300 and some days of sunshine,
Yes.
and now it's 26 degrees.
Oh,
So great place
fantastic.
to visit.
Fantastic. And again, I enjoy it down there. Been down there for conferences. One of my favorite restaurants is in Scottsdale, actually. Of
Oh,
yeah, haha. So, getting back to what's going on here. So, favorable dollar. When you're talking to Canadians, I mean, you're getting inquiries, obviously, people calling saying thinking about selling or whatever. There are things that you need to advise them about too, because the selling process is different down south than it is here in
absolutely.
Canada, right?
Well, and Tony as well, it's very emotional.
Hmm.
Like a lot of people have wintered here for years, and it's very emotional, above and beyond all of the other situations that you have to be considerate of. So, their families, they've come here annually for 2 or 3 times a year for their
Memories,
family
yeah.
getaways and the memories that they build. I mean, that just within itself, the matter of fact, I'm going to be selling a property in the new year with some people actually from Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
And they've been coming here, their kids have come here, but they know it's time to sell.
Hmm.
So working through the emotion of it is the place to start. But there's so many other considerations that are so important. The transition is number one,
Hmm.
to find a realtor that has the experiences as well as the resources,
Hmm.
because it's a lot different for you to refer somebody to Scottsdale, Arizona than Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Yeah.
There's lots of things to consider. And the most important is the FERPTA withholding.
Yeah. Oh, and by the
Any
way, just for
Yes,
our listeners to know, FIRPTA it's the Foreign Investment in Real Estate Property Tax Act in the States.
correct.
Right. FIRPTA.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
So any property that sells above and beyond 300,000, which is
Everything.
90% of the transactions right now, there's a 15% withholding that is sent from the seller's proceeds to the IRS.
Hmm.
So unless it's been an investment property, the sellers have to get a tax identification number and ensure that that tax ID number is attached
Hmm.
to the monies that are being sent to the IRS. It's a withholding.
Hmm.
So I always encourage my clients when they buy, track every dollar you spend
Hmm.
for the improvements in your home,
Hmm.
because it's basically almost like a capital gains tax.
Okay.
So they are responsible for submitting the documentation to the IRS as well as in Canada.
Hmm. Yeah, so the withholding, because we do have something kind of similar here. Really, what it does is it ensures that the seller gets up to date with their taxes in the country, right?
Right.
With the U.S.
Absolutely.
IRS, and the reason for that, of course, is the after somebody leaves and the money has left the country, it's harder for the government to get their hands on taxes. That's why they have this withholding tax. So you've got
Absolutely.
15% FIRPTA and also capital gains, right?
Well,
Um,
that's all part of that's the FERPTA. It's the
yeah.
capital gains. Yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of Canadians don't realize that the documentation
Hmm.
is also sent to Canada Revenue.
Mm,
So it's really important to
yes.
be proactive on both sides of the border
Yeah.
because they can see you.
That's the reason why every year, when the accountant's doing our tax return, people, they ask, do you hold any foreign assets or,
Yes.
anything from, proceeds of sale from outside of the country, right? But there's other things as well too, and I've seen in your presentation talking about things like land transfer taxes, title and escrow companies. I mean, that's something that happens in the
Yes.
States that we don't have here, right?
Right. So in Canada, you have lawyers.
Uh-huh.
In the States, we have title and escrow. So basically, they work on behalf of the seller and the buyer to ensure there are not any liens and encumbrances, that the homeowners association, kind of like your condo strata fees
Hmm.
there, everything is up to date and make sure that if there's financing on the property, that's going to be paid off when the property closes.
Hmm.
So they basically do the same thing that lawyers do in Canada. So that's really important as well. And actually, there are states that also have a withholding. California, I think, is about the highest.
Hmm.
I think they're at about 8%.
Yeah.
Arizona is at 3%. But again, it's a withholding.
Got
That's
it.
why it's so important to track
Yeah.
the monies you invest in your property.
So,
Not daily costs, but improvements.
got it. So, quick question, just out of curiosity, if you know, you may not, when your Canadian clients are selling their properties, do they typically have mortgages on them or,
No, during the whole foreclosure short sale, when
yeah,
people were selling or
yeah,
purchasing $60,000 homes, they were actually bringing their money from Canada.
yeah.
They
Okay.
would put, potentially monies against their property.
Yeah.
But then at that point in time, I really didn't have a good, stable lender for Canadians. But
Ah,
for probably 8 years now, I've worked with RBC Bank and they are exceptional
yeah,
at getting Canadians approved. They can use their social insurance number. So it's really
yeah.
a very
But
positive, easy
But
process.
what you're saying is a lot of Canadians who are selling their Arizona properties, they own them cash outright, so there's no
Right.
mortgage on them. Yeah.
Yes.
So I can understand, I mean, despite the uncertainties that are happening between our countries right now, there would be an advantage right now anyways because of the fact that the exchange rates are so much in favor, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Plus the price improvement. I mean, like I said, $60,000 homes I was selling. Now you can't touch those homes for 350. So
Um,
you get the gain
yeah.
in your property value in addition to the currency exchange. You can take a lot of vacations and come down here with the money that you have improved upon.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Thanks so much for joining us, Tricia. If our listeners or fellow Canadians want to chat with you about real estate buying or selling in Arizona, what's the best way for them to do that?
Thank you, Tony. So my phone number is area code 602-689-9977, 602-689-9977. And I have a very full detailed report
Hmm.
that I would be delighted to share and have a conversation.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Tricia. We will look you up next time we're down south. Need to take another
Please
break.
do.
Absolutely. Need to take a break here, folks. We'll be right back. Thanks for coming back. You're listening to the Whole Home Show, and I'm Tony Joe. Our show comes to you every week with the support of our show partners, Denise Webster, mortgage broker with Dominion Lending Center's Modern Mortgage Group, JP Sellas, insurance advisor at Westland Insurance, the Sitka Law Group for your real estate, wills and estates, corporate and personal injury needs, and Silhouette Building Inspections with Pierre Beauvais. If you need help with your real estate transaction, give any of the Whole Home Show team members a call. They would love to hear from you. As a reminder, you can find their contact information and mine by visiting cfax1070.com. You look under shows, and there you'll find us, the Whole Home Show with me, Tony Joe. Or, as I often say, just Google us, Google myself. I love hearing from our loyal CFAX listeners, and I do. I hear from you every week, which is great. So we have been checking out other parts of the world today. We were just chatting with Tricia Lehane over in Scottsdale and Phoenix, Arizona, talking about what's going on down there. As far as Canadians selling, a favorable time for people to sell. Canadians, of course, being one of the largest buyer segments in the United States, in states such as Arizona and Florida, for that matter. So Canadians are selling. So it kind of leads us to the question of where are you going to go? Where else can you go to buy investment property? Because the world suddenly is a smaller place. We've got, of course, to fly anywhere doesn't take very much time. The internet now connects us so closely. Of course, things like Zoom, which I'm on right now, enables us to talk to people across the globe, including right now, my good friend well, I don't want to tell you yet where. It is Marc Jurock. Marc is with Remax Synergy. Marc, thanks for joining us today. It's morning for you because you are 15 hours ahead of me right now, right?
That's right, Tony.
All
I'm
right.
talking to you from, can I say?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I'm 2 hours south of Bangkok in beautiful Pattaya, Thailand.
Oh my goodness. All right. So, you are a Canadian. I knew you
Yeah.
from, of course, you were a realtor in the Vancouver area. So you are a West Coast boy. People may be familiar with the Jurock name because you happen to be related to a fella named Ozzy Jurock.
Certainly, it's my father. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So very well known, in these parts across Canada for that matter. Where do we begin? Okay, tell us about where you are.
So, Tony, I'm raised, talking about my dad, I'm raised in a real estate office.
Mhm.
Uh,
Because
I
he
used to
because
say,
he's a legend. He's been in the business for decades.
certainly, pilots say there's no substitute for air under your butt, meaning no substitute for flying the plane. And that is the one thing about my father is his experience. And luckily, I've been able to be there a lot. You're just talking about Tricia. I know her. She's awesome in Phoenix, and
Mhm.
I actually owned in Phoenix. Now that's a decade ago, but we did really well down there. So I hope the same for all her sellers
Yep.
down there. But I've always been, I've been in real estate investing since 2002. Boy, time flies, huh? And
We were
so
both
I'm always
kids back
looking for
then.
investment.
We were both kids back then. Yeah.
Yeah, really. So, but I've always looked for real estate investments for my clients. And that's what brought us to Phoenix after '08. We went down there in 2010. We were flying down. I was chaperoning, for lack of a better word, 50 people at a time. And we were looking at real estate deals. We all did very well. And that was in 10, 11, and 12. And so I'm always been looking in the late teens, in 18 and 19. I was down here in Southeast Asia. I am half Filipino. And I'd come down for 1 month long trips. I'd do 4 countries, 10 cities, like 12 flights. I loved it at the time. I think it'd be really tiring now. But I got to see a lot of real estate. And, Thailand has rule of law. Thailand has a land title office. Thailand was the only country that was not colonized down here. And things are different here. The people are kind and resilient. And the real estate, the buy-in is so much easier than back home. I was talking to you before on air that we just did a deal for a Canadian, a
Oh yeah.
British Columbian,
Yeah.
and it sounds great. I told them just to not mention the currency, but it was 2 million. Well, 2 million Thai baht in
Okay.
total,
Okay.
$86,000. That's a
How
top
much?
floor
$86,000.
Canadian, not USD. And that is a top floor. That is 475 square foot one bedroom. And the pool in the apartment. So things are different down here. I'll say it probably 10 times when we talk. The pool has a beach, a literal sand beach, not the beach beach. The beach is 10 minutes away, and that's 8 kilometers long. That's John Tian Beach. But he cartwheeled out of the contract signing. I mean, he's retirement age, and then his maintenance. Your maintenance you pay once a year. It's $1 to $2 a square meter. It's square meters down here,
Okay.
and that is a tenth of what you pay back home.
Oh,
And so even your ongoing costs, and he has other, he wants to rent it out, whether he does it through Airbnb or he uses a service such as ours and rents it out yearly. He has options. So,
oh.
or he's going to be here 6 months a year.
Okay. So he's got options. So he didn't buy it with a specific plan in mind. So it's kind of like he'll figure it out.
Yeah, and so he's coming down in about well, he's coming down middle of January, and we'll do the title transfer then, and we actually will all go down to the title office. We'll take pictures on the front steps. It's kind of a pomp and ceremony like the old days when you got your title,
Yeah.
and so I'm thrilled for him. He's bringing his daughter down.
$86,000 Canadian.
Yeah, total, and I'm high on that a little bit.
Okay, so all right, we've established that the real estate is supremely affordable. I'm guessing that he probably didn't need a mortgage, maybe took equity out of his home or something, or
So he's done really well in his real estate investing, and he's buying this cash out.
just writing a
But
check.
yeah, so he's going to transfer that over here. This unit, Tony, is 100% foreign owned,
Oh,
and it's not a lease, it's not a co-op. It is in perpetuity. He is going to heir it to his daughter.
mhm.
So this is a fantastic thing. It's a really a win-win for everybody involved,
Yeah,
and it's a
we
brand.
so in prior conversations with you, we had talked about the fact that there are some places where it's a lease or something, and you can only own if it's meant for rental or something, right? Or hotel type ownership.
Well, so all of Thailand, like many places, you can't own land.
Okay.
You can buy it as a company, but your company is 51% owned by Thai and
Hmm.
49% owned by you. So there's a little bit of a workaround. For instance, I operate a small budget hotel down here,
Hmm.
and that's a hotel and a hostel, and that's owned in a company. And that company has two Thai owners in it. But the workaround is I'm the director. The director controls everything. So they can't put loans against the company. They can't sell it. They need my signature. And down here's wet signatures, no electronic signatures,
Oh,
Tony.
okay.
Yeah,
Wet ink.
still wet ink,
Yep.
blue wet ink. Yeah.
Okay.
And so me being the director, I control everything. And God forbid something happens to me, then that would go to my next heir. And
Yeah.
they would actually have to come to Canada to get anything done.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow.
so there's like 2 million of these structures in place.
Okay.
So the courts are familiar with it and that kind of thing here.
Got it. So as we are recording this episode right now, it's getting dark over here right now, but it's about, I don't know, 10, 11 degrees Celsius. What are you right now over there?
So it's 7:47 a.m. and it's 29 Celsius.
29 Celsius at 7 in the morning. And where is it going to go to?
Oh, it's nice. We're starting to cool off now. We're coming into cool season. It'll be
Yeah.
about 31 today.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Well, listen, we need to take our last break of the day here, having a conversation with my friend Marc Jurock from Remax Synergy in Thailand. We're going to learn more about ownership and investing as Canadians. We'll be back in just a moment. Thanks for coming back. You're listening to the Whole Home Show, and I'm Tony Joe. I am right now thinking about 30-degree weather at this time of year as we are recording our episode. And the reason I am is because our guest right now is a friend of mine, and he's not here in town. He's 15 hours ahead in Thailand. Marc Jurock with Remax Synergy. You heard it right there, folks. We have Remax in Thailand because Remax is a true international real estate organization. Right, Mark?
That's right. That's why I'm with them.
Yes, you have been for years too. You've been a
Yeah.
longtime Remax agent. So of course, when North Americans, when Canadians or even Americans are coming to your neck of the woods, when they see the balloon, they're familiar with the service.
Oh, it's 100%. And even my latest sale, he actually tapped my golf shirt with has the Remax logo on it. And he wasn't saying anything, he was just tapping it.
Oh,
And that gave him great comfort. So yeah,
fantastic. So again, we're talking about investment and how, as Canadians, I mean, Canadians own investment property, condos, houses, duplexes, whatever. We have these issues now. We have things like vacancy and speculation tax. We have no more Airbnb usage, no more short-term vacation rental. There's a lot of control on ownership. The Residential Tenancy Act of British Columbia very much protects the tenants, which is important, but also means that it is a little less appealing for people to own investment property in Canada. And the other thing too is, especially where we are, whether it's Victoria or Vancouver or Toronto, the acquisition cost of the real estate relative to what you are generating revenue wise, the return is it's tough. I mean, most of the time people are banking on appreciation over time. The math is a little different. We're talking about with you there, Mark, because you said a purchase of a unit, $86,000, plus your buyer might be doing things like Airbnb or renting it or whatever, right?
totally. And Tony, I actually retired my Canadian license 2 Januaries ago,
I
and
remember.
I was
Yeah.
I was living I was just living the dream down here,
Yeah.
quite frank.
You bought
And
a hotel and a hostel and
yeah, yeah, and I actually, I quit drinking 5 years ago, and the first thing I did was buy a bar in Thailand. And so I learned a lot about business and how things run down here.
yeah.
And the bar is sold now. It's really the greatest real estate deal I ever did, certainly percentage wise. But in terms of Airbnb, the Airbnb back home, I mean, I can't even keep up with the changes there. It seems to be something new all the time.
Mhm.
So what got me back in the business was there's a Thai who's become Canadian, and he's running Airbnb management service here in Bangkok. And then another ace realtor out of one of the other Remax offices on Main Street, Matt Henry, he doesn't mind me using his name. He's married to a Thai. And he says, hey, this guy's Airbnb places he wants to show us. Well, God bless him. He got me back in the business because
Mhm.
as we started looking at these units and the buy-ins, we were looking at $160,000 Canadian brand new units in Bangkok within 10 SkyTrain stops. And everything is appreciated like crazy all around SkyTrain stops.
Yep.
They call it the BTS here from the center core, the heart of Bangkok. So a 20-minute ride away. And these were cash flowing at 5% net through Airbnb management.
Yeah.
Airbnb has quite a fee, and the management has quite a fee, but even after that. But those units are in the 5 million baht range. Like I say, about 160 to 200,000. But his highest performing units are the ones that are closer to the 2 million range. And so I almost fell over. Matt's sitting on the calculator going, well, that's a net cap of 8%. This is a net cap of 5%. Well, I made a living at 5% and
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
So the units that we went to specifically, they weren't really close to downtown, but they were close to transit, which is everything.
Yeah.
And like I say, those are about that $80,000 to $90,000 Canadian range, new, and those were grossing almost 12%. They're net about 8% return. So here's the thing: you land in Bangkok, you stay in your place, it's managed professionally. He has a hands-off management. And so I really like what he's doing there. You get to your place, it's clean as can be. Uh, 1 month rental is the minimum here. So you
Okay.
have a different sort of tenant. The digital nomad rules now. There's even a 5-year visa for digital nomads. That's another subject. But
Okay.
the digital nomad is getting your Airbnb for 1 to 3 months, 1 to 4 months, 1 to 5 months, 1 to 6 months. And that's the tenant we're looking for.
Mhm.
There's lots of people skirting it and renting weekly and this and that, but that's not the law. We do everything by the book.
Okay, so
So
just out of curiosity, what would someone be paying for a month?
for a month, it was probably about 25, about $1,000,
Thousand
and that's
dollars a
in
month on something that cost 160 or $200,000.
yeah. Those ones a little more.
Okay.
Those ones but something that cost you 80 to 90,000, let's say 100,000,
Hmm.
and it rents for 1,000 a month. There's an old rule of thumb. It's not a hard rule. It's just kind of a rule of thumb. Is if you buy something for 100,000 and it rents for 1,000, the 1% rule, chances are in Canada your mortgage is paid, your property taxes is paid,
Hmm.
and your monthly maintenance paid. Well, here, maybe you have that money sitting in your savings account at one of the big banks at 0.75% interest, or in a GIC earning 3.5% interest, if that. Uh, and you use that money to earn a lot more than just sitting in your bank account.
Hmm.
Or you're pulling it out of your house, hopefully at a preferred rate, and it's making more money than if it's just sitting in the bank account. That's what really got me started here.
Well,
And
just for our listeners here for a moment. I mean, we're, here we are. It is not unusual to be looking at a condo that is $600,000,
right,
right? Even $500,000. So applying
yeah,
the math that you just said, it would need to generate $5,000 a month to service a $500,000 condo. We don't get that much. Right, a
yeah, exactly.
$500,000 condo might be, whatever, it's 2,800, 3,000, or whatever. So the math is very different here. And you mentioned a moment ago, 8% or 5% net cap rate. My
Yeah.
goodness, over here in the West Coast, people are happy, or not. Nobody's ever happy, but people are used to seeing 2%. Three is hard, right?
Well, imagine your maintenance is $600. Hell, let's call it 1,000 a year,
Hmm.
not 300, 400, 500 a
Oh,
month.
no, it's 500, 600 a month now. That's not unusual,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
exactly, right.
yeah.
And so I keep my finger lightly on the pulse back there. But it can also get you down, right? Um, when I was in the business, I was the sci-fi real estate guy.
Yep,
I was in the Remax West Coast there for almost 10 years.
yep.
But part of my niche was certainly real estate investing, but also first-time buyers. There's a lot of hand-holding, there's a lot of questions, but boy, is it ever hard for them to get into our market.
Hmm.
But I've been around a long time, and I hope I'm younger than I look.
You are
But
because you're older than me. I know that. And you you look like my younger brother, right? Yes.
but like I've seen a lot of wealth made through real estate investing, but it all starts with owning where you live.
Yes.
And then after you own where you live, you get an investment property. And here, I made a speech the last time I was back there, and I was saying, like, you all should buy one of these for your kids. And this is really an investment with baby steps, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then what quiche to say? I have an investment condo. Oh, where is it? It's in Thailand. You know what? If you're at a party, your night is over. Everyone's going to be going, my goodness, Thailand, how much was it? And there are direct flights now in the high season.
Yes.
So from
Well,
from
actually,
November to
so let's
March.
talk about that. We're talking like Vancouver to Phuket or something, or
Bangkok,
Bangkok. I'm
right
sorry.
to
Yes.
the yeah. So Bangkok's the most visited city in the world, and there's reason for it. I mean, it is unreal. You take all of Vancouver, or Victoria for that matter, and drop it in the middle of Bangkok, and no one will even notice. There's 16 million people in this city.
Yeah.
You can drive for an hour and a half. You're still in Bangkok. It's
Oh,
really simple.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So question for you here, because you've been there for a while now. I know, because we've stayed in touch for all this time. Wh You ever feel in danger?
Oh, I'm really glad you brought that up. I just don't, and I can give you 100 stories. I mean, I got to Vancouver last December. 4 days later, my phone was stolen while I did my blood
In
pressure at
Vancouver.
the drugstore.
Yeah.
And at my hotel, I have many stories of people leaving stuff. So my hotel's not smoking, so they smoke out front. And one guy came running into the lobby. He was covered in sweat. He had checked out in the morning. And he goes, "Do you have my laptop?" And I'm like, I'm about to phone housekeeping. And he goes, runs out to the smoke thing, and his laptop was still laying out there. And, you know, I'm on a busy street, lots of walk by traffic, lots of locals, lots of motorcycle taxis, all that. And, you know, that was sitting out there. And he had gone to the airport, come all the way back, grabbed his laptop, had to go
Okay, so
back
what
to the
you're
airport.
saying is at your hotel, somebody left his
Yeah.
laptop in the smoking area outside,
Right in
left,
the,
came
yeah.
back like a time later, and it was still there. Whereas
Yeah.
you were getting a blood pressure check at a pharmacy in Vancouver, and somebody stole
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah. It's unreal. You know, for 2 seconds, I was kind of in the blood pressure zone, zenned out a little.
Yes.
And I had two phones on top of each other. I had a Thai phone and my Canadian phone. And not only that, it was my Thai phone that was stolen. Well, I had my payroll on there, my Thai banking, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll give it to you the RCMP. They actually I was tracking the phone and deleting everything off it. And I phoned 911 and I said, hang up on me immediately if this is not an emergency call. And they actually sent a cruiser. He followed me. But we went to 4 apartment buildings, so that was it. We couldn't do anything
Mm.
about it. There's
Anyways,
many,
so getting back to the
there's many,
safety, you
there's
feel very
many stories here.
yeah.
There's many stories. A woman had an atrociously large amount of Thai baht in her purse. She left it on the beach
Yeah.
and it got turned into the police station,
Oh,
you know? So nothing was taken. And, you know, I told you I'm half Filipino. So there's a lot of similarities between the countries. I have all my relatives there. I got 800 relatives. They're all like, how come you're not in the Philippines? You know, you have us who's a support system. Well, they're very similar. The Philippines all Catholic. Here's all Buddhist.
yeah.
Uh, they use forks and spoons here, same as the Philippines. But
Yeah.
the real similarity is the people are kind
Yeah.
and they are resilient. I mean, the Philippines got nailed with 4 typhoons last month.
Yeah.
And right now, we're expecting a huge flood coming down from the north into Bangkok. All the dams are full. And you know what? People just deal with it and they come together.
Wow.
And
Yeah. Amazing.
it's like,
Amazing. Well, Mark, listen, if people need to reach you, what's the best way to do that?
I think my name is Marc with a C, MARC at Jurock, JUROCK.com, my email.
Oh,
And then
so easy.
we can set up a WhatsApp call or a Facebook call or anything like that. And just remember, I'm a day ahead. And so when you talk to me at 7 at night, it's 10 in the morning for me. And
Love it.
I'm all my mornings are with calls, Tony.
Amazing. Amazing. Great seeing you, buddy.
Really great talking to you, Tony. You sounded awesome as always.
Hey, thanks for following us today, folks. Of course, it's always fun visiting around the globe. Thanks for joining us, Mark, and Tricia was great as well too. We'll be here for you this time next week.